Hey, what's up guys? Weekly Light here, and today I'm going to be starting my team composition guides for pit people. So the first guide I'm going to do is on this team I like to use. It's a very common team, I think, but it involves the core of a mushroom, a gnome, and 2 robots. But what I like to use with it is also 2 wraiths. So how it works is the mushroom is the hero, because the mushroom gets like massive bonuses. And its AoE is really good for crowd control, and it pairs with the robot and the gnome because I'll get to that later. And then, so then with the gnome, right, it can launch the mushroom into the middle of crowds because the mushroom's mobility is one of its downsides. But the gnomes will fix that by launching it into crowds early game. The gnomes will also synergize with the robots and allow them to heal, which can help sustain them in the long run because robots can't be healed by cupcakes. So then I also have 2 robots for massive crowd control because that chain lightning is really good for messing up groups. Even if they spread out a little, they can still get chained by the lightning. The robots are immune to the poison from the mushroom, so that makes it also really good because now your mushroom can be on the front lines and you can have your robots right there and not have to worry about friendly fire from your mushroom. And then I like to run 2 wraiths to debuff stuff. So just to weaken them and make it easier because I have a lot of AoE. So I figure adding in a debuff will help with the AoE and make it so the game is effectively increasing my tankiness, which will help keep the gnomes healing the robots and help me in the long run. They also resist electricity, so electrobots can't do anything to wraiths with their lightning attacks, which makes them also very good. So the pros of this team is that there's a lot of range damage, and you can hit targets from afar, and it deals 2 different types of elemental damage with the poison and the electricity attacks. But I felt like a downside of it was that this team has, even though it has the gnomes, it has relatively low sustain, and it also has low defense, because even though the Electrobots are tanky, there's nothing designated to tank. Also, I find it a little problematic that there's 7 players you have to move, and I actually missed the timer on one of the turns here. So, because I'm usually used to running like a 4 or 5 team, so with 7, it takes me extra long just to figure out where to position stuff, and that time crunch could lead to some problems. Yeah, so you can also feel free to modify the team however you want. The standard core is the first 4 characters, and it's a very common build. So the other 2 slots are sort of your choice. You could put a hair troll there or something else, or maybe a pixie and a cupcake or something. But basically, you want to tailor it how it is. The current build is, I'd say, mainly for PvP, because there's no recruiter, so that's not good for being out in the wild. And also, it's not good for the unfair challenge because it has very little sustain, like I said. For the unfair challenge, you're going to want to have, I think, a little more sustain than just 2 gnomes. So if you want to modify this build for hunting stuff out in the wild, you're going to want to either put 1 Cyclops with a net, or you're going to want to have a recruiter human and something else. I would not recommend this because all the AoE can lead to problematic things and you might accidentally kill the thing you're trying to save. If you wanted to modify it for the unfair challenge, you probably want to add in something with more sustain like a hair troll, or add in more gnomes in order to increase your sustain. Overall, I'd say this build is definitely the best for PvP due to the amount of pure damage it can put out, but its usefulness goes down in other areas. So now I'm going to talk about my channel in general now. So what's happening now is these are the team composition guides because I have finished all of the character guides. These team composition guides will be against actual people. They are real people. Before, for the team comp guides, I played against the unfair challenge round 1. So it was actually pretty easy just to record footage and whatnot. So nowadays I am actually playing real people. So I'm doing pretty good in the pit, but it might be a little harder for me to get wins. I think I'll show you guys only wins. I think it'll be more entertaining that way. But you're gonna see I'm not playing just some cold, heartless computer anymore. I'm playing real people, and sometimes the real people have pretty good strategies too. So you might see some actual intense battles that really come down to the wire in the end instead of my team just steamrolling. So a lot more of them are gonna end in like 2v2s and whatnot and small skirmishes. So keep that in mind. You'll also see me do some pretty dumb stuff. Like, I know I always hit mascots when my team surround them, and it always blows up, and then I try to scramble. So you're gonna see some of that. The player base is actually really, really small for this game, so you might see the same person be fought twice because they're the only one online at that time. Hopefully, when the game gets updated a little more, the player base will go back up, but you can only hope. So thank you for watching. I think I'm gonna let the videos all go to the end of the gameplay for these team composition guides so you can see how they synergize and whatnot. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe and check out the other videos. Thanks again.